Good evening, Cebu. Good evening, Philippines. It's Open Mic Night again, and tonight we have a very special guest. We're going to be talking about prosperity and luck because we have none other than the country's queen of feng shui, or as the Americans would say, feng shui. The very beautiful, eternal, ageless Marites Allen.
Thank you so much. Wow. Magandang gabi. Maayong gabi, Cebu, and of course to the rest of the Filipinos watching us all over the world. Good evening to you, or good day to any continents or zones you are in.
A lot of people don't know that you speak Cebuano, that you're Bisaya.
Of course, baka sinabi mong maganda. So sabi ko, basta mga Bisaya, mga gwapa.
Gwapa good.
Taga Cebu bangko. So anything you would like to ask me, of course, I'm here. I could still speak a little bit of Bisaya, and I love this.
But because you're based in London most of the time?
Yes, I actually have kept home between Manila and London as well. I have
Oxford,
4 kids. Right? Yes, I have 4 kids, but they are now into the university. So 3 are in university. Yeah, so the youngest is, my eldest is 23.
They know their feng shui very well.
Of course, because mommy taught them. So, 4 yung mga anak ko, 2 boys and 2 girls.
That's like us. We're also, my brother and sisters were 2 boys and 2 girls.
Okay.
Technically.
In fact, my 3 kids were born in Cebu then.
Ooh.
Yeah, my 3 kids. Kirk, he is now 23. He's taking up law with business in Kingston, in London, and then...
You don't look like you have
Ganun ba? Because I'm always on the road all the time.
And in college.
Yeah, and the second one, Kevin, he's now 21. He's taking up computer engineering in Brighton University. And Shannon, she's 19. She just been accepted, of course, got an offer from the University of College in London.
Oh,
so she's taking up medicine.
That's where the really good-looking math teacher is from.
And the very good, and the best medicine schools in the world.
But you know that guy, right? Pietro Boselli. He's he went viral. He went viral
because he's very good. The good-looking one.
Very,
Okay.
The very sexy math teacher. So lucky you're.
Don't tell my daughter about it.
I'm sure your daughter knows. Maybe that's the reason she applied.
No.
And I was gonna wish her luck, but I'm sure.
Thank you.
I'm sure she has her luck set for her.
Well, I think
because
mga
her mom is the
Cebuanos,
feng shui queen.
Well, mga Cebuanos are really good. We're quite lucky to have a very good, supportive kids as well. And of
Do
course,
you think
Mom and
Cebu,
Daddy.
when you drive, I'm not a feng shui expert, no, but I believe in order.
Yes.
A certain order of things,
Yeah.
even without basing it on feng shui. But I think it's self-explanatory. If you have things blocking the way, then it also in a way blocks your energy and your mindset. And
Yes.
diba? If someone's blocking the door, pwede ka madagma.
Common sense.
Common
Feng Shui
sense,
is
yes.
a common sense, and I think just to give the opportunity to the viewers to know what is Feng Shui, is practically it's a science.
Yes.
It's not magic. It's not superstition.
It's not fortune telling.
It is not fortune telling. Kaya nga it's very important for people to understand that we Feng Shui experts, we are not manghuhula. If manghuhula pa ako, I should have tell you now. Anong itatayo mo sa numero sa loto?
We'll replace the microphone with a crystal ball.
Yeah, so we are not manghuhula. And then Feng Shui is actually a Chinese art of science. It's been around for nearly 5,000 years.
Wow,
Yes.
5,000 years.
And if there was no truth to it, it would have faded away.
Exactly.
So it's there for us to follow. And I always begin my talks or my interviews in anywhere to let the people understand that there are 3 types of luck. 3 types. The first 1/3 is what we call the heaven's luck.
Okay.
Some people are born pretty, some people are born lucky, some people are, born good-looking and rich, right?
Thank you for pointing.
Of course. And our very good friend, a fellow Cebuana, Lucy Torres Gomez, isn't she lucky?
Yes.
Guwapa na, dato pa, guwapo pang asawa, intelligent pa siya.
From a good family.
Yes, so isn't she lucky?
Yes.
So
That's heavenly
that is
luck.
heaven's luck.
Heaven's luck.
Yeah, some people live in a very exclusive subdivision in Maria Luisa or in Forbes Park in Manila, or some people live in a very depressed areas. So that is something that is God-given.
The circumstances to which you were born.
Yes, preordained and cannot be changed.
Okay.
So I came from a family of 12. Isang dosena kami.
Wow.
Pang-sampu ako.
Wow.
So life was very difficult. So it was not easy kasi lahat kami sa isang taon, 4 kami sa kolehiyo, 4 sa high school, 4 sa elementary. So I wasn't born in a very affluent family.
Wait, but your situation is very typical of Filipino
Filipinos,
families.
yes. And the only thing that my parents was telling us then is, I have nothing to give you except education. So we cannot give you anything at all except education. That is why, even for us now, even for my kids, we tell them education is very important.
And you used it pa to study this entire system.
Yes,
no?
of course.
Of
And it's
feng shui.
beautiful. So that's the heavens luck.
Heavens.
The second
Second?
1/3 is what we call the mankind luck. This is what you do to yourself. It is because of your actions and decisions. So if tatamad-tamad ka, nobody's gonna put food on the table.
And also kindness, no? Your kindness
It's
toward,
your actions, any acts that you do, good deeds,
toward other people.
Yes, so that is our mankind action. Sinabi na nga ng feng shui expert natin na susurtihin ka ngayong taon, tapos tatamad-tamad ka pa, wala ka pang ginawa.
Is it similar to the concept of karma?
Yes, but then it's really more, yun na nga, what you do to others comes back to you and everything. And the
Okay.
final 1/3 is what we call the earth luck. This is what feng shui is all about. So feng shui, ibig sabihin, pinag-uusapan natin, you were born in the year of the boar, I'm born in the year of the monkey. So we have years which are very good for us. There are days which are very lucky for us, and there are months which are very lucky for us. So when we give the forecast, kung hindi mo pa sinunod yan, bahala ka na. So it's a loss to you.
Yeah.
So learning feng shui and advocating it, I had been advocating feng shui simply because it has really done great things to myself. Like what I said, I came from a family of 12. I got married very early. I was annulled from my first marriage, and my 3 small kids then were so young. So, and then I lost my mother in a tragic accident.
Yeah.
So I was saying something like, bakit ganito kasama ang buhay ko at that time? Way back, my life then. So this is how and what leads me to study feng
Feng
shui.
shui.
Yes.
And you've been very, I see on your Facebook, you're very close to your sisters. You send them
Of
things,
course,
yeah.
of course. Well, whatever is, some people kasi, I always say this, that, it's not really trash, but some of the things that you don't use could be a treasure for others, right?
yeah.
So,
Other people's trash is other people's
other
treasure.
treasures, yes.
But now that we're discussing the concept of feng shui, no? Is it feng shui? Feng shui? Feng shui?
Feng shui. You have to.
Feng
It's
shui.
spelled as Feng, but it's pronounced as feng.
Is that Mandarin?
Yeah, and then shui is like
Shui.
shui, but
Not sui. Feng shui.
Yeah, so American calls
Feng shui.
Yes,
It's
feng
even more
shui.
murdered. but we have a question from Facebook from Maxi D. Dear Miss Allen, this is my question for you. What are the differences and similarities between traditional feng shui and Western feng shui?
Okay. Number one,
I didn't even know there was a distinction.
of course, very big. In fact, number one, I am not an expert in Western astrology. Some people, I am an expert in the Chinese astrology. Some people kasi,
Western is zodiac.
yes, yung mga Libra, Sagittarius,
Cancer,
Aquarius, Cancer, like that. It is very different from the Chinese astrology. It's a very long process to understand.
But you also read your Western horoscope, no?
No, it's very popular to a young. It's very popular
Newspapers.
to Western newspapers, or in fact, to a younger generation. So anyway, to answer his question, there is that number one, may mga tao kasi that when they say, when the Chinese New Year comes, sinasabayan nila ng Western.
It just muddles things up.
It is
no?
very wrong, and it's not right. If you are a Western astrologer, then it's your field. We are Chinese astrologer.
Yeah.
We stick to our field because it confuses. Number one, people try to say that there are similarities. There could be, but maybe siguro very, very few. In terms of percentage, I don't know, maybe 10, 30%. But it's not really exact the same because number one, the Western astrology follows our new year, like January 1, right? That's the Western. We uses the solar calendar. And the Chinese astrology,
Chinese New
meron
Year.
kaming Chinese New Year na nagsisimula ng January, merong February, right? It depends because we follow the lunar calendar. So that's already a very big disparity, right? Number two, the Western astrology actually follows the constellations, right? So you cannot compare like a rat to, a certain animal sign na exacto because their characteristics are different. So we are following the 12 astrological signs. Number three, the history, I think, of Western astrology is way back in Mesopotamian times, in late Egypt, way
it's
back
also quite
in,
old.
yeah, way back in, I think around 2,500 years old. But Chinese astrology is much older.
And I'd like to say, before we pause for a break,
Yes.
not to put down Western astrology. Because
No. It's beautiful. I started with Western astrology. I love it.
No, me naman, I read it. I actually read it, I have to admit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, so that it doesn't influence my day, I just like to compare how the day was. And
If you're going to compare, you're not gonna be, how do you call it? You cannot get the exact reference because, number one, in the analysis of Chinese astrology, we could come up with, say, 144 personality characteristics. 144. But Western astrology is so less.
that's why. But when I read,
So-
for example, Cancer, because I'm a Cancerian, at the end of the day, when I look at it,
Oh, this is so me.
this was really what happened. so that's how I read it. No, but just before we pause for a break, let me say that Western astrology, like you said, it was founded in Mesopotamia.
Yeah,
But
late
it's a-
Egypt,
it's a dead-
2,500 years.
But the civilization is dead. And China is really lording it over all of us.
Well, to be honest with you, maybe in the later part of my life, in my career, I will do my expertise in Western astrology, just so.
But you see, like I said, no, I mean,
get the comparison.
It didn't really stop that civilization from ceasing to exist. But the Chinese civilization has continued to flourish.
Yes, kaya nga, so that's why I always say that. But it's very good. It's just there to guide us. At the end of the day, I think people have to understand that sometimes, I post these messages because I do a lot of studies and I do a lot of research that whatever we register in our head is actually very important.
That's right.
So
It's mind conditioning.
Yes.
But we have to pause for the short break. I hate to cut the discussion because it's already very interesting. We'll be back here on Open Mic. We're back here on Open Mic with the Marites Allen. I know for a fact that you have gained more, fame, more popularity. Unfortunately, because of the passing of, for me, that's what I know, the passing of former President Corazon Aquino. I know from Boy Abunda and Chris that that's why they testify to your skills, your ability. Not only because the Washington CSIP and Boy Abunda and the biggest names in Hollywood, in Philippine show business and
in our own Hollywood.
yes, in our own Hollywood and business, the most respected, the most influential business tycoons and successful politicians, they go to you for advice. But that you actually at the time in 2009, you actually gave 3 dates.
Yes.
If I'm correct, no?
Yes.
3 dates. 3 critical dates based on the birth chart of President Aquino.
Yes.
3 critical dates, and that
I highlighted August 1.
Yes, and that the 2 others, I asked what happened to the 2 other critical dates because one is when President Aquino passed away.
Yes.
So one of the critical dates that you cited was when she passed away, but the 2 others I asked, boy, what happened? Then, oh, she almost flatlined. So they were also.
Yes.
I mean, that could have been the day. Those could have been the days that
but
she
the
died.
one that for some reason I highlighted in red,
Yes.
August 1, simply because I think people has to understand that no matter who we are, no matter how much money we have in the bank, no matter how popular you can be, when it is our clashing time or hour, then we cannot escape. So what I'm gonna say is that, as the case of President Cory, she's born the year of the monkey.
Oh.
And then it's the year of the tiger. And then she died on, in fact, the day of the tiger as well.
Oh, and the tiger and the monkey
Our enemies.
are enemies.
And then she died at 3:18 a.m., which is from 3 to
It's a
5
tiger.
a.m. is a tiger hour.
Yes.
So President Cory, as a monkey person, died on a tiger day, tiger hour, and even on a tiger year. So everything was clashing.
Clashing.
So that's why everybody, anyone who's born on this earth, on this universe, we all have our time that we are born, the day that we are born, the month that we are born, and the year that we are born. You can actually have a look at it, and you can take a look at it on your birth certificate.
Yes, that's why I wanted to ask you that, no, because a lot of people who follow feng shui don't even know that there are signs specific to not just the year.
Yes.
Because for example, I was born in 1983. I'm year of the boar.
Yes.
And I was born in July, which has a corresponding sign,
Signs.
which is
The sheep.
the sheep. Good thing they're compatible. And that I don't know yet, but I was born on the 2nd of July. I don't know yet what sign that is.
You can actually Google it. You can text me.
But I was born, according to my mom, between around 4 a.m. So it's between 3 to 5, which is tiger, which is my secret friend
Yes.
as a boar. So far, at least those 3 signs
Are
okay.
fitting for you.
What does that mean for me?
Actually, it's when a person, say when somebody asks me, like, Miss Allen, you know, I'm going to deliver my baby cesarean. Yeah, cesarean. So at least we can now manipulate. We can now manipulate the hour, the day.
Yeah.
And kung kaya pa nga, the month. You
Yeah.
cannot manipulate the year because the year is, di ba? You're only supposed to deliver and carry the
Within,
baby for this year.
Unless it's this you know, like toward the Chinese New Year.
Yes, or siguro sabihin natin, the month naman is medyo kalahati. Half and half
Yeah.
is parang towards the other end of the other
Yes.
month, di ba? So ngayon ganito kasi yan. We have the so-called allies and friends. So the rabbit, the sheep, and the boar are your allies.
Yes.
And then the tiger is the secret friend of the boar. So, you know, it is very nice if you can like have or working with somebody or with a team who are your allies and friends, not your enemies.
I noticed that most of my closest friends are actually tiger.
Oh, di ba? So it's actually a very good thing to do. So for me, even if you ask me, even my yaya, I don't get a yaya that is not the allies of my kids, because my husband and I travel a lot and we leave the kids to them. So when they were a lot younger, I make sure that the yayas are allies to them. So the 12 animal signs has their own allies and friends. So baka naman magtanong na naman yung mga followers mo sa Facebook, so sabihin na lang po natin that your allies and friends are rabbit, sheep, and boar. You are one grouping. The rat, monkey, and dragon is another grouping. The ox, snake, and rooster is another set of allies and friends. And the horse, dog, and tiger are another grouping. So in the 12 animal signs divided by 3, there are 4 sets of allies. And friends.
And the one you are directly, the opposing to in the
chart is your enemy.
Mine is a snake.
So if we start with the rat is the enemy of the horse, the ox is the enemy of the sheep, the tiger is the enemy of the monkey, and then rabbit is the enemy of the rooster, the dragon is the enemy of the dog, and then the snake is the enemy of the tiger. The boar, and then what else? The horse is the enemy of the rat. So yun, so we completed the 6 signs.
So, but for example, like in my case, does that mean anything for me that so far, no, because we don't know the
it's good,
the day.
But because you already have the presence of the astrological friends in your chart, it's very good sign.
That means that I'm a lucky person?
That means is you are very good in networking activity because your chart is ready with your networking luck.
Yeah,
allies and friends are theirs. Yeah, so you better
my luck.
You better set up a networking company.
not for me.
or events. I think you are someone that you can easily
politics.
be.
That's my.
Politics is one thing that I have to look at because each of us also are not blessed with a certain stars. There are so many stars.
Not to say that I'm running for office, but they might think.
Why not one day?
One day.
Why not one
when
day?
It's my year.
Yes, there are many things that we can look at if we wanted to check if the person are sort of fitting to run for office. So anyway, going back to the question earlier, like, ano nga ba? What are the relationship of the animal signs to the 12 months? So my friends, the 12 months is actually allocated for 12 animal signs. So beginning in December, let's start with the rat, is December. January is the ox. February is tiger month. Rabbit is March. Dragon is April. May is snake. June is horse. July is sheep. August is monkey. and then rooster is September, October is dog, November is boar. So that is why, and then all these things as well, every 12 days, today is a snake day. Sorry, today is a sheep day. So follows tomorrow is a monkey day. The next day is a rooster day. So you can actually download my app, Marites
Yes.
Allen Feng Shui Planner on, I think it's on Android and App Store.
Is it free?
It's free for
Free.
now because of open mic. So if you log in, it's gonna be there for a while. If you wanna grab it, then wait also for the 2016.
And then let's talk about your other venture aside from this app.
Yes, yes.
No? You
By
have-
the way, sorry to cut you off. I just want to complete na lang. So the 12 months is for 12 animal signs.
Yes.
The daily, there's also 12 animal signs. Then the 24 hours in a day divided by 2, every 2 hours also belongs to each animal sign. Therefore, like what I said, sometimes pag hindi mo alam na kontra oras mo pala yan, and then you're doing something like mga big launching, or you just get married, or you sign a contract, then it could also hit you. That is the reason why we have developed now the Friga fashion.
Yeah.
Like you're wearing now, you keep wearing clothes anyway that doesn't have any meaning, so you might as well wear something that has meaning na for
Oh.
you. Yes. So we're bringing on Friga now into a
This is
more.
also-
Yes, this is for love and marriage. Because I'm missing my husband.
So you developed this so that people wear things that make them lucky.
Yes, actually, it's not
Integrated,
new.
incorporated
Yes.
into fashion.
You know what? It's not new because in the oldest time, it's only the emperor and the empress. Remember the robes with the beautiful intricate designs, the hair clip of the empress with beautiful symbols.
Yes.
So way back then, it's only the emperor and the empress who can like have all these auspicious symbols. Kasi nga, they're the ones who are really have the intricate design. So luckily, when we emigrated to London in 2010, I went to the London College of Fashion because I was so curious. Why is it that the personal fashion stylists, they would dress up a person, and how come some people they look so good in one color and some are not? So you can actually see it on your destiny reading. Like when you're saying, "What is my destiny today?" and everything, you can see now what are your lucky elements, your lucky colors,
Colors.
and everything. So
It's
now
not a fixed color for
you have your most likely. This is like what you are.
your generally
yes.
lucky color.
Because it's now you are now giving me your date, time, year of birth, so it has to be yours.
Okay.
So for me, my element is, for example, I need a fire element. So fire for me is like something like this red. So I hope I look good.
Does that does that
TV with
mean
red, right?
For example, I'm a water boy. Is that what you mean?
Yes, but it has to be calculated.
Ah,
What are
more
the set
specific.
of elements that you are lacking? For me, I lack the element of wood. So green colors are my wealth element. So alam ko yun lang.
Wealth.
Of course.
Again, we have to pause for a break. It's a very interesting topic already because it's about wealth, but we'll be right back here on Open Mic. We're back with Marites Allen here on Open Mic. By the way, speaking of fashion, this was given to me by my friend Weber Amores.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. He did the designs.
I know.
He's an
It's
architect by training.
Beautiful.
But he interesting.
Cebuano rin?
No, he has roots here. I
Okay.
know Amores. They're really from Cebu.
Oy, gumawa ka sa akin ng gown.
I'll introduce you because
Yes.
he developed naman his own brand of numerology
Wow.
for so many years.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, and he's profiled people with research. No, so maybe you can. Are you open to different types of
Of course.
different schools of thought?
Well, for as long as it's supported by science, and like what I said, the reason why I stick to feng shui is because for many years it really has
it's
been
established.
proven, and I, for one, has benefited much from it.
Yes.
And most of the people that I consult with. So
I wasn't able to finish my question earlier during the first gap about Cebu, because when I drive around Cebu, especially our main arterial highway, no?
Yes.
Osmeña Boulevard, Jones,
yes.
no? From Cebu
Fuente
Normal
Osmeña, yeah.
down to Fuente Osmeña, down to the capital. But
It's clog up.
But it's lined by Nara trees, but I just feel that there's traffic, but I feel there's good feng shui because
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a feng shui expert like
I
you.
never been back there, so
But
tell me.
it's just the idea that there's a fountain and you go straight, and then at the very end is our provincial capital.
Ah, yeah, I remember. I remember
Yeah.
the place very well. Yeah, I believe so. In fact, for me, I'm familiar with, for example, Malacanang. You know, there are buildings that has been, hindi natin alam nung unang panahon, baka pinafeng shui na rin nila yan.
So is it lucky?
Yeah, because any building, if you put a fountain, because fountain is money, it's kaya nga wealth.
But they say the name Malacanang, maybe malas kasi mala.
No, Malacanang.
May lakan
no,
dun.
no.
May lakan
Malacanang
dun.
would mean may lakan dyan. There's a nobleman there.
May lakan yan.
So that's hindi malas, my gosh. No. Actually, what makes it malas, I think I just would like to digress back when people say, like, you know, why is this thing so negative? Why is my life so negative? Or why are bad things happening to me? I think people have to understand as well that you are what you think.
That's right.
So if you have accepted, if you have told the universe that my life sucks, the universe says, my wish is your command. Right? But if you say the other way around, like somebody posted on Facebook, oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna win a lotto, you know, like that. So I replied, oh, I'm gonna help you count it because I have already.
You know, speaking of Bilang Angel, or what you say and it happens, I remember on August 31st, 2009.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, it was a Sunday. I was awarded by the University of San Carlos.
Yay, congratulations.
Most outstanding alumnus, and I think I still am the youngest in the history.
Wow.
And I don't know, I had to revise my speech. But for some reason, I had to revise it. But so I gave it extemporaneously.
Wow,
and
beautiful.
When I ended my speech, I said, you know what, I do not know what I'm going to do next after government. Who knows?
Yes.
You might see me on TV. That's what I said.
And you did.
Oh my gosh. Less than 12 hours after, at 9 in the morning, the following day, on September 1st, Anne Mirabales of Bottom Line, of ABS-CBN,
Yes.
she calls me, she says, hi Sir Mike, this is Anne Mirabales of ABS-CBN. Hi Anne, how can I help you? She said, do you know about the Bottom Line? Has Sir Boy mentioned that? I go, yeah, we talked about the concept back in the summer.
Okay.
And he said, also, you know, sir, that you're going to be a mainstay panelist. I said, I didn't. No, I didn't. We talked about the concept, but he didn't mention that he was thinking of me to be a mainstay panelist. Can you imagine? Just the night before, I said, "Who knows? You might see me on TV."
Exactly. So you see, it's the attraction. It's the law of attraction, practically.
Yeah. So, but you think going back to Cebu, I'm very curious if it's a lucky.
I would hope so, because if you have seen, in fact, today I just had a private tour of the SRP, which is one of the biggest, you know,
reclamation project.
Yes, biggest project of the SM group, and I would say there's nothing like that. If there is no interest, there is not much requirement to it. So I would say Cebu is progressive.
Our
on its
capital
own.
And our Frente Osmeña is, from what I know, is American inspired. It's really inspired by Washington D.C.
Okay.
You know, the capital,
Yes,
DuPont Circle, all these things.
Yes.
You know? So I don't know. I was just curious if there was some feng shui to it.
I would maybe the next time I come back
Yes,
and guest
you
on
should.
you. I should.
Yes,
we should have a location
you should drive
shooting.
through there. You
We should
drive
have a
through.
location shooting and check out the directions. And it's like this. The structure on its own, there will be lucky days and time of the year. There will be lucky years.
Okay.
There will also be lucky moments for the people sitting in that office.
All right, that's right.
So not everybody who has given the luck and the opportunity may have to go through the permanent luck. Kasi nga, we all have our lucky. Sometimes you are not so lucky, sometimes you are lucky. The reason why feng shui is around is when the moment hits you that you may not be too lucky, then we are here to compensate it. But if you are going to be lucky, then we are here to extremely, support it. So for example, next year is the year of the monkey. Isn't it exciting? Yes!
That's your year.
So it's gonna be, of course, the wealth star is with the monkey in the ship born people, which is also your friend. And then to those people who are born in the year of the tiger, they have to be a bit careful because the monkey is the clash of the tiger. Not only that, the tiger actually and the ox, they have the so-called misfortune star sitting on their chart. for
The
that
tiger.
year.
Oh my-
The tiger in ox.
Okay.
So in fact, tiger will be like doubly affected for 2016.
All right.
But nonetheless, like what I said, Feng Shui is here to help, to support.
How about Bor? How are we next year?
The boar will be super mainit ang ulo.
That's every time.
But now that you know, then you're gonna be more
Cool.
forgiving, and you'll be more. You know,
Why mainit ulo?
because it's the so-called the hostile energy is
Okay.
in the
But the luck
house
is
of
okay. The money is fine.
Yeah, mga kaibigan, if you want money in Feng Shui, activate the north part of your house, north, and
Okay.
put a water fountain there. By the way, in Cebu, please visit us at the One Pavilion Mall, OPM. We are the
Yes.
second floor for Friga. And at the same time, hopefully, we'll be back
Cutie,
for...
my cousin Cutie was there at the
Hey,
opening. Yes,
Cutie, of
Cutie Del Mar.
course. Cutie is so lovely.
Yes, always.
Yeah.
She's such a dear.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pop culture misconception about feng shui.
Yes.
And in fact, there was a movie with
Yes.
Chris Aquino.
Yeah, I walk away after the premiere. I was so scared.
You watched it.
I was invited for a premiere.
And you
It
didn't
was like
finish it?
11 years ago.
Yeah.
So the first 15 minutes, I was just so scared already. And I said, this is not right. And even like a week before, I have to open my flagship store at Podium.
World of Feng Shui.
Yes. So anyways, it is maybe for entertainment.
But it
So,
was really wrong.
it is not right. It's for entertainment.
Yes.
I mean, no offense.
I
of
watched it.
course.
I watched it.
But there's no scientific element to it, and I'm sure it's there.
So I'm guessing you didn't watch the sequel.
No, nah. No, actually, it's like this. In Feng Shui, if you keep looking at movies which are scary, especially to those friends of ours, the artistas, I told them many times, do not accept roles that you're gonna be killed, you're gonna be
really?
raped, you're gonna be put in a kabaong.
But Chris is always the massacre
she?
queen.
That's
but
why,
she's been
because
lucky.
well, there are some good lucks in some other ways. There are some,
We're the same. We're Bor.
You're bored, oo. So what I'm trying to say is, if you can, try. Because look what happened to Linda Blair, The Exorcist,
yeah,
diba?
yeah, that's
So this
right.
is what I'm trying to say. So if you're trying to accept movies which are scary,
But for the rest of us, we just love to watch horror movies.
there are people who really loves. I don't. I'm
I
not.
do.
Yeah, some people do. Some people
I really
don't.
enjoy
don't.
watching horror.
Because it's gonna give me, like, in the evening, I'm gonna be scared. It's gonna trouble my head.
I even tell Ayala Santa don't stop scheduling your horror movies in the afternoon because the horror aficionados don't like to watch in the afternoon. We watch it at
Okay.
night.
Well, you enjoy it, and then it's up to you.
But anyway, so Friga is in one pavilion. here
Yeah,
in
we
Cebu.
have a small setup at one pavilion, and then we're hoping to get a proper, boutique in one of the SM malls or
At SRP?
Ayala. Yes, and then soon, of course, we will be back to tell you the exciting news.
So,
And-
but what are the prospects? No, because we talk about fashion and your store, at least it caters to that.
Yes,
no?
and in fact, they can actually follow me on Facebook, Marites Allen, or they can actually get their free forecast every month on friga.co.uk or
And plus-
Friga Charm Life.
Plus you have your app.
Yes, and we have the app. You can actually get the app, which you can, if you want to if you want to sign a contract.
Can we zoom in?
If you want to sign a contract, you can just say this is September. Of course, when I came to Cebu 26.
Yes.
So it's like a success day. So it can now tell you, like today, I'm with open mic.
And it's an open day.
And it's an open day.
Suitable activities,
Yes.
what does it say? Engagement, commence business, adoption, organize weddings, deliver a baby.
Yes, so there's so many things, and then it can tell you like what are the days that it's like tomorrow
It's a closed
it's
day.
a closed day, so it's not so good. So if you're ending a relationship, it's a good day to end a relationship.
I don't want to end one.
Business termination. So
Ah.
this is very, very important. So there's so many things that you can do to be guided. And again, like what I said, Feng Shui is there to help us. You have to still do your prayers, pagsusumikap, and pampaswerte.
So, in closing, 2016 is a very big year for the Philippines.
Yes.
Based on the Philippines chart and, 2016 elections and the candidates so far. What do you see for 2016?
Well, I'm
for the
hoping because
Philippines?
the chart suggests that it has the prosperity star number 1. It's a victory star number 1. So Southeast has the victory star number 1. The Philippines belong to the
Southeast
Southeast
Asia,
region,
yeah.
Southeast Asia. So it is a new beginning.
Great. Sounds so positive. At least I'm happy because elections. People are very anxious about the elections, but
Yes, it is a new beginning. I wish all the candidates all the luck. Whoever wins,
of course, you're apolitical.
whoever wins, for as long as they can make a difference to our country and to our community, we are all for them.
Thank you, Miss Marites
Thank
Allen.
you.
Thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
And I want to wish you good luck. But,
Good luck to you as well.
But you should be wishing me good luck.
Good luck and more seasons and episodes of Open Mic to come.
Thank you, Miss Marites Allen. This has been another episode of Open Mic. Until next week, this has been your host, Mike Lopez. Good night and Godspeed.